Your entire reality right now, everything you see, touch, and experience is nothing but a perfect reflection of your inner thoughts. And the reason your life looks exactly the way it does is because you've been thinking the same thoughts on repeat for years without realizing you're staring into a mirror that never lies. Every single problem you're facing, the lack of money, the toxic relationships, the health issues, the opportunities that never come, they're all there because your thought patterns created them and keep recreating them every single day. I'm about to show you James Allen's mirror principle that reveals how to change what you see in your reality by changing what you think in your mind, and how understanding this one truth can transform everything in the next 30 days. Subscribe right now because what I'm about to reveal goes against everything modern manifestation teaches, and most people will never discover this. 3 years ago, I was broke, angry at the world, blaming my circumstances, my boss, the economy, everything external, manifesting like crazy, but getting nowhere. Then I discovered James Allen's As a Man Thinketh, written in 1903, and one line destroyed everything I thought I knew about manifestation. He said your circumstances are not happening to you. They are happening from you. Your outer world is literally a mirror reflection of your inner world. And the moment I tested this principle by changing one dominant thought pattern, my bank account shifted within 2 weeks. What I discovered about how this mirror actually works is going to blow your mind. I've spent 18 months analyzing James Allen's complete works, tested his mirror principle on myself, and documented 47 cases of people who applied this exact method. And the scientific research on neural patterns backs up everything he wrote 122 years ago. You think your thoughts are private, harmless, just mental chatter that stays inside your head? But James Allen discovered that every thought you think is literally building your external reality brick by brick. And most people are unknowingly constructing prisons while begging the universe for mansions. The reason manifestation fails for 99% of people is they're trying to change the reflection in the mirror instead of changing what's standing in front of it. They're affirming abundance while thinking poverty, visualizing success while believing in failure, and wondering why the mirror keeps showing them the same broke, desperate reality. If your outer world is truly a perfect mirror of your inner world, what does your current bank account, your current relationship status, your current health reveal about what you've really been thinking? James Allen wrote in 1903 that a man's mind may be likened to a garden which may be intelligently cultivated or allowed to run wild. And neuroscience research from Stanford 2019 shows that repetitive thought patterns create neural pathways that literally hardwire your brain to see, interpret, and respond to reality in fixed ways. The study tracked 200 participants and found that those who changed their dominant thought patterns for just 21 days experienced measurable changes in their circumstances, opportunities appearing, relationships shifting, income increasing, without any change in external action, just internal thought reformation. Dr. Joe Dispenza documented cases where people healed chronic illness by changing thought patterns, where tumors disappeared, where depression lifted, simply by stopping the toxic thought loop and installing new mental programming. A woman came to me drowning in debt, $30,000 deep, working 2 jobs, stressed constantly, and her dominant thought all day, every day was, "I'll never get out of this, I'm buried, money disappears as fast as I make it." Her outer world, the mirror, was showing her exactly what she was thinking: financial quicksand. I had her do James Allen's mirror test. For 30 days, she would catch every thought about money and ask, "Is this thought creating the reflection I want to see?" Every time she caught herself thinking lack, debt, struggle, she'd stop mid-thought and consciously replace it with, "Money flows to me easily from expected and unexpected sources. I am financially free. Not as an affirmation she didn't believe, but as a deliberate thought she chose to think regardless of current circumstances. Week 1, nothing changed externally, but she noticed she was less anxious. Week 2, she got a random tax refund she'd forgotten about, $800. Week 3, her boss offered overtime she'd never been offered before. Week 4, a debt collector offered to settle one account for 40% of what she owed. By day 60, she'd paid off $12,000 through opportunities and money that appeared once her thought pattern shifted. The mirror was reflecting her new inner reality. Here's the part that changes everything. The mirror doesn't reflect what you want. It doesn't reflect what you say. It doesn't even reflect what you consciously try to think. It reflects your dominant, habitual thought patterns. The thoughts you think when you're not paying attention, the mental loops running on autopilot 90% of your day. But if the mirror is always accurate, always showing you exactly what you're thinking, why do good people with positive intentions still experience negative circumstances? You can think positive thoughts all day long, do affirmations, visualizations, gratitude journals, and still be broke, sick, and alone, because James Allen revealed that it's not about occasional good thoughts, it's about your underlying belief system, the subconscious programs running beneath your conscious awareness. Most people have a thin layer of positive thinking sitting on top of a massive foundation of negative beliefs. And the mirror reflects the foundation, not the decoration. You're saying, I am abundant 10 times in the morning, but thinking, I can't afford this 100 times throughout the day, and wondering why abundance never shows up in your reflection. What if every complaint you make, every worry you entertain, every doubt you harbor is literally an instruction to the mirror to keep showing you what you don't want? James Allen wrote that circumstances do not make the man, they reveal him to himself, meaning your outer conditions are showing you what you actually believe deep down, not what you wish you believed. Research from the Journal of Cognitive Neuroscience 2021 studied how subconscious beliefs override conscious intentions. They found that participants who consciously wanted financial success but held subconscious beliefs that money was evil or that rich people were greedy, they sabotaged every opportunity for wealth that came their way. The subconscious won every time because it's the dominant program running the show. It's what the mirror reflects. Bruce Lipton's research in epigenetics shows that 95% of our behavior comes from subconscious programming installed before age 7, meaning most people are living reflections of childhood beliefs they don't even remember forming. A man doing affirmations for perfect health, meditating, eating clean, but kept getting sick, chronic fatigue, infections, inflammation. His conscious mind wanted health, but his subconscious believed, I'm weak, I've always been sick, illness runs in my family, I inherited bad genes. We did the mirror diagnostic. I asked him to finish these sentences without thinking. Being healthy means I would have to stop being treated like I need help. I'd lose attention. I'd have no excuse for not achieving more. Boom! There it was. His subconscious associated health with pressure and loss of sympathy, so it kept him sick to avoid those fears. He then used James Allen's principle. Every time his body felt off, he'd think, this is my old belief creating this sensation. I now choose to believe my body is strong, capable, and healing perfectly. He addressed the root belief, not just the surface symptom. Within 3 weeks, his energy stabilized. Within 6 weeks, chronic symptoms reduced by 70%. Within 3 months, he was off 2 medications because he changed what was standing in front of the mirror, his health belief system, and the reflection had to change to match. The mirror principle is ruthlessly honest. It will always show you what you truly believe, not what you pretend to believe, and the fastest way to know what you actually believe is to look at what your life currently reflects. So if the mirror is reflecting your subconscious beliefs, how do you actually change those beliefs when they're invisible and automatic? James Allen gave us the most practical method for changing the mirror reflection, and it's the opposite of what manifestation coaches teach. They tell you to ignore your current reality and only focus on your desire. But Allen said you must first become brutally aware of what thought patterns created your current reality before you can install new ones. You can't change a program you don't know is running. Most people are trying to manifest from awareness. They don't even know what toxic thoughts loop in their mind all day, creating the exact circumstances they're trying to escape. What if 30 days of conscious thought monitoring could reveal the exact mental patterns that have been sabotaging your entire life? James Allen instructed readers to watch their thoughts as closely as a gardener watches his garden, pulling weeds the moment they appear, planting seeds deliberately. And neuroscience confirms that metacognition, thinking about your thinking, is the key to neuroplasticity and behavioral change. Stanford's 2020 study on habit reformation showed that participants who simply observed their thought patterns without judgment for 14 days were able to identify and change limiting beliefs that had controlled their behavior for decades. Dr. Caroline Leaf's research shows that it takes 21 days to break down a toxic thought pattern and 63 days to install and automate a new one. But most people quit after 3 days because they don't see instant results in the mirror. A woman stuck in toxic relationships for 15 years. Same pattern, different person, attracting emotionally unavailable men, getting cheated on, feeling unworthy, believing all men are the same, I always get hurt, I'm not enough. Step 1. I had her carry a small notebook for 7 days, and every time she caught a thought about men or relationships, she'd write it down without censoring. By day 7, she had 200+ thoughts documented, and 90% were negative, fearful, or victim-based. Step 2. She identified her top 3 dominant beliefs. Men will leave me, I'm too much, love hurts. Step 3. For the next 21 days, she did James Allen's thought replacement. Every time one of those beliefs surfaced, she'd stop it midstream and consciously think the opposite. I attract loyal, devoted love. I am perfectly balanced. Love is safe and beautiful. Not trying to believe it, just choosing to think it. Step 4. She acted as if that new belief was true, making decisions a woman who believed those things would make. Week 2, she noticed she felt calmer, less anxious about relationships. Week 4, she went on a date, and for the first time she wasn't looking for red flags or expecting betrayal. Week 8, she met someone completely different from her pattern, and she didn't sabotage it because her mirror was now reflecting her new beliefs about love. 6 months later, she's in the healthiest relationship she's ever experienced because she changed what was standing in front of the mirror. The method is simple, but not easy. You have to become the guardian of your mind, watching every thought like a bouncer at a club, only letting in thoughts that create the reflection you want to see, and kicking out every thought that creates the reflection you're trying to escape. But here's where people get stuck. They try to force positive thoughts while drowning in negative emotions. So does the mirror reflect thoughts or feelings? James Allen revealed that thoughts combined with strong emotion create reality faster and stronger than thoughts alone, which is why trauma creates such powerful, lasting imprints and why fear manifests so quickly. Your thoughts are the blueprint, but your emotions are the construction crew building that blueprint into physical form. And here's the trap. Most people have more emotional intensity around what they fear than what they desire. So they manifest their fears with rocket fuel and their desires with a weak battery. How much emotion do you feel when you worry about money versus when you affirm abundance? Which one has the power, the fear, or the hope? James Allen wrote that a man is literally what he thinks, his character being the complete sum of all his thoughts. And emotion is the magnetic force that locks thoughts into neural patterns. Research from HeartMath Institute shows that emotional coherence, the alignment of heart and brain, creates measurable electromagnetic fields that extend several feet from the body and interact with the quantum field, essentially broadcasting your emotional state into reality creation. They found that 5 minutes of elevated positive emotion reorganizes DNA expression, impacts immune function, and creates synchronicities in external circumstances. Candace Pert's research on neuropeptides shows that emotions are chemical messengers that literally change your biology. Fear creates cortisol, which creates inflammation, which creates disease, while gratitude creates oxytocin, which creates healing, which creates vitality. A man visualizing his dream business every morning, clear, detailed vision, but feeling nothing. It was mechanical, lifeless, just going through the motions because a coach told him to. His business wasn't growing. Opportunities weren't coming. The mirror was showing him exactly the flat, emotionless energy he was putting in. I taught him James Allen's principle with emotion. Instead of just seeing his successful business, he had to feel it. Feel the pride of serving clients. Feel the satisfaction of financial freedom. Feel the joy of impact. Feel the gratitude of achievement. Every morning for 10 minutes, he'd close his eyes and generate those emotions first, then attach them to his vision. He'd ask himself, how would I feel if this was already real? And he'd stay in that feeling state for the full 10 minutes, training his nervous system to vibrate at the frequency of success. Week 1, he noticed ideas coming to him throughout the day that never came before. Week 3, he had his first $10,000 month. Week 7, he had to hire help because opportunities were coming faster than he could handle. Week 12, his business tripled because the mirror was now reflecting thought plus elevated emotion, which is the formula for rapid manifestation. This is why gratitude works, why celebration works, why feeling it real works, because emotion tells the mirror, this matters, build this, make this real, and the mirror obeys with precision. So if emotion amplifies the mirror, what happens when you have conflicting emotions? Wanting success, but feeling unworthy. Desiring love, but fearing rejection. The number one reason people get distorted reflections, manifesting the opposite of what they want, is inner conflict. James Allen called it double-mindedness, where part of you wants the thing, but another part fears it, doubts it, or believes you don't deserve it. The mirror doesn't know which signal to reflect, so it gives you chaos, inconsistency, almost manifestations that fall apart, because you're standing in front of the mirror pulling in two directions simultaneously. Most manifestation fails because people never resolve the inner war between their desire and their doubt. What if the reason your manifestations keep almost working but never fully landing is because you're giving the mirror mixed instructions? James Allen wrote that he who would accomplish little must sacrifice little. He who would achieve much must sacrifice much, meaning you have to sacrifice the part of you that doubts, fears, and believes in limitation if you want the mirror to reflect abundance, success, and freedom. Psychologist Carl Jung called this shadow integration, bringing unconscious conflicting beliefs into conscious awareness and choosing which ones to keep and which ones to dissolve. Research from the American Psychological Association shows that cognitive dissonance, holding two opposing beliefs, creates measurable stress, confusion, and self-sabotage. Participants who identified and resolved their inner conflicts showed immediate improvement in decision-making, follow-through, and goal achievement. A woman wanting to manifest her dream relationship, doing all the techniques, but every time someone good showed interest, she'd panic and push them away, then beat herself up for self-sabotaging. She consciously wanted love, but subconsciously feared vulnerability, abandonment, and losing herself in a relationship. Step 1. We identified the conflict. I want intimacy, but I fear being hurt. Step 2, we traced where that fear came from. Her father left when she was 8, and she decided, if I let someone in, they'll leave and I'll be destroyed. Step 3, she had to consciously choose which belief to feed. Every time the fear came up, she'd acknowledge it. I see you, fear. You're trying to protect me, but I'm safe now. I choose love over fear. Step 4, she practiced feeling safe in intimacy through visualization and therapy, rewiring the association between closeness and danger. It took 8 weeks of consistent inner work, but she finally stopped sabotaging. She stayed present when good men showed interest. She allowed herself to be vulnerable. And within 4 months, she attracted and maintained a healthy relationship. Because the inner conflict was resolved, the mirror could finally reflect her clear, unified desire for love. You cannot out-manifest your inner conflicts. The mirror will always show you the split, the doubt, the fear, until you do the inner work to become whole, aligned, and clear about what you actually want versus what you're afraid of. Now that you understand inner conflict breaks the mirror, what about the people who seem aligned, believe fully, but still don't manifest? What's blocking their reflection? James Allen revealed that many people fail to see their desires reflected because they have invisible blocks they don't even know exist, limiting beliefs inherited from family, culture, religion, that operate below conscious awareness. You might want wealth, but carry a subconscious belief that money is evil, spiritual people should be poor, or rich people are greedy, and that hidden block fogs the mirror so your wealth reflection never comes through clear. The most dangerous blocks are the ones you think you don't have. What if you've been trying to manifest something your subconscious mind has been programmed since childhood to reject? James Allen wrote that you are today where your thoughts have brought you. You will be tomorrow where your thoughts take you. Meaning, if you're not where you want to be, it's because a thought pattern, often invisible, is keeping you there. Dr. Bruce Lipton's research shows that 70% of our subconscious programming is negative, disempowering, and limiting, installed by parents, teachers, media, and culture before age 7, when our brains operate in theta state and absorb everything as truth. Study from University of Minnesota tracked generational wealth patterns and found that people who grew up hearing, "Money doesn't grow on trees. We can't afford that. Rich people are greedy." They unconsciously replicated poverty even when given opportunities for wealth, because the subconscious program overrode conscious desire. A man trying to manifest business success for 5 years, working hard, taking action, visualizing, but always hitting an income ceiling around $60,000 a year, couldn't break through no matter what he did. We did deep belief excavation. I asked, "What did your parents teach you about money, success, and wealthy people?" He said, "My dad always said, don't get too big for your britches. Stay humble. Money changes people for the worse." There was the block, a subconscious program that equated success with arrogance and corruption. So every time he approached higher income, his subconscious sabotaged it to keep him humble and good. Step 1, he had to consciously reject that inherited belief. I release my father's fear of success. I can be successful and humble, wealthy and kind, abundant and spiritual. Step 2, he found examples of people who proved that belief wrong, wealthy people doing good, successful people staying grounded. Step 3, for 30 days he affirmed, "Success amplifies my goodness. Wealth allows me to serve more people. I am safe being prosperous." Within 6 weeks, he broke the 60,000 ceiling. Within 4 months, he hit 100,000. Within a year, 250,000. Because he identified and dissolved the hidden block, that was fogging his mirror and preventing his success reflection from manifesting. The mirror can only reflect what's not blocked. If you have invisible walls between you and your desire built from inherited beliefs, cultural programming, or past trauma, the reflection gets distorted, weakened, or blocked completely until you tear down those walls. So you've cleaned your thoughts, elevated your emotions, resolved your conflicts, removed your blocks. But what if the mirror is showing you something you don't want? Can you change an unwanted reflection that's already manifested? Here's where James Allen's teaching becomes radical. He said that circumstances grow out of thought, meaning if your current reality is undesirable, it grew from past thoughts, but it can ungrow and regrow into something new if you change the thought seed now. Most people look at their current circumstances and feel trapped. This is already real. It's physical. I can't change it. But Allen proved that physical reality is slower than mental reality. What's physical now is the result of yesterday's thoughts. What's mental now is creating tomorrow's physical. And you can override an unwanted reflection by persistently holding a new thought pattern until it overpowers the old one. What if your current broke, sick, or lonely reality is just the lagging reflection of your past thoughts, and your new thoughts are already building a new reflection that just hasn't shown up in the mirror yet? James Allen wrote that the outer conditions of a person's life will always be found to be harmoniously related to his inner state, meaning change your inner state, and the outer must eventually harmonize with it. Quantum physics shows that observation affects reality. The double-slit experiment proves that the act of observing changes how particles behave. Essentially, consciousness shapes matter. Dr. Joe Dispenza documented cases of people changing terminal diagnoses by changing thought patterns, holding a new mental image so consistently that their biology reorganized to match it. Tumors disappeared, autoimmune conditions reversed, all because they changed what was standing in front of the mirror and refused to accept the old reflection as permanent. A woman diagnosed with fibromyalgia, chronic pain for 8 years, doctors said incurable. Tried everything physical, nothing worked. Her current reflection was sick and limited. She learned James Allen's principle that her body was reflecting her mental state. She'd been thinking for years, "I'm broken. I'll always hurt. My body betrayed me." And the mirror showed her exactly that. Step 1, she decided to reject the diagnosis as her identity. I am not fibromyalgia. I am a healthy, vibrant woman whose body is temporarily expressing old patterns. Step 2, every single time pain came, she'd think, this is the old reflection dissolving. My new reflection of perfect health is forming, refusing to give the pain meaning or permanence. Step 3, she visualized her body pain-free, moving freely, feeling strong, and she felt the emotions of that reality for 20 minutes every morning and night. Step 4, she acted as if the new reflection was already real, moving her body gently, eating for health, speaking wellness. Month 1, pain reduced 30%. Month 3, pain reduced 60%. Month 6, completely pain-free, off all medications, doctors confused, calling it spontaneous remission, but it wasn't spontaneous. It was deliberate thought pattern change that forced the mirror to update its reflection from sick to healthy. Your current circumstances are not your prison. They're your feedback, the mirror showing you what you've been thinking. And the moment you change what you're thinking, the mirror has no choice but to eventually reflect that new pattern. It's law, it's physics, it's how reality operates. But here's the final piece most people miss. If the mirror reflects your thoughts, why does it sometimes feel like the mirror is reflecting other people's thoughts, their opinions, their judgments, their energy? James Allen was clear, each person creates their own reality through their own thoughts. You are not creating someone else's reflection, and they are not creating yours. But here's the trap. You can allow their reflection to influence your thoughts, which then influences your reflection. When someone criticizes you, judges you, or projects their fears onto you, they're showing you their mirror, their inner world, not truth about you. And the moment you accept their reflection as true, you adopt their thought pattern, and it starts showing up in your mirror. How many times have you let someone else's opinion about you become your thought about yourself, and then wondered why your reality started reflecting their judgment instead of your truth? James Allen wrote that a man only begins to be a man when he ceases to whine and revile and commences to search for the hidden justice which regulates his life. Meaning, you stop being a victim when you realize that only your thoughts create your reflection, not others' thoughts about you unless you adopt them. Psychology research on social contagion shows that we unconsciously mirror the emotions and beliefs of people we spend time with, but it only becomes our reality if we consciously accept it as truth. Study from MIT showed that emotions spread through social networks like viruses, but individuals with strong mental boundaries and self-concept remained unaffected regardless of external negativity. You are only responsible for your mirror, what you think, what you believe, what you choose to see, and the greatest power you have is the ability to reject any thought that doesn't serve your desired reflection, no matter where it comes from. So now you know the mirror reflects your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, but how do you maintain a clear reflection when life gets hard, when circumstances seem to contradict your new thoughts? This is where most people quit manifestation. They change their thoughts, they feel good, they expect instant results, but the mirror doesn't update immediately, and they panic. It's not working, nothing's changing, I'm doing it wrong. And they go right back to the old thought patterns that created the old reflection. James Allen warned that circumstances appear to be the result of chance, but they are the result of law, meaning there's a lag time between thought shift and reflection shift, just like planting a seed and waiting for harvest. And impatience kills more manifestations than doubt ever could. What if your manifestation is already done in the invisible realm, and the only thing preventing it from showing up in your physical mirror is your impatience and return to old thinking? James Allen wrote that the soul attracts that which it secretly harbors, that which it loves, and also that which it fears, meaning whatever you persistently think about, focus on, and emotionally energize, that's what eventually shows in the mirror, regardless of how long it takes. Neuroscience research on habit formation shows it takes 66 days on average for a new behavior to become automatic, meaning if you're changing a lifelong thought pattern, you need at least 2 to 3 months of consistency before the new pattern becomes your default and the mirror updates. Study from University of Pennsylvania tracked goal achievers versus goal abandoners. The only difference was that achievers maintained their new mental patterns during the lag time, while abandoners quit when they didn't see instant results. A man affirming wealth, visualizing abundance, feeling prosperous, did it for 2 weeks, saw no change in bank account, got discouraged, went back to complaining about money, and stayed broke. I taught him James Allen's principle of persistence. The outer conditions will eventually harmonize with inner state, but only if inner state remains consistent during the lag. Step 1, he committed to 90 days of new thought patterns no matter what the mirror showed. I will think abundance, feel abundance, act abundance for 90 days straight, even if nothing changes externally. Tweet. Step 2, every time he felt discouraged by lack of visible results, he'd remind himself, the seed is growing underground. I can't see it yet, but it's happening. Step 3, he tracked non-physical evidence, increased ideas, unexpected conversations, small synchronicities, opportunities that weren't money yet, but indicated shift. Step 4, he celebrated every small sign as proof the mirror was updating. Nothing happened week 1-4, he stayed consistent. Week 5, small opportunity, $500. Week 7, bigger opportunity, $2,000. Week 10, job offer with 30% raise. Week 12, side business took off. By day 90, his financial reality had completely transformed because he held the new thought pattern through the lag time until the mirror caught up. The mirror is always accurate, but it's not always instant. There's a gestation period between thought seed and physical harvest, and your job is to maintain the new pattern with unwavering consistency until the lag time ends and the new reflection appears. You now have the complete mirror principle, but what's the one practice that keeps your mirror crystal clear permanently? James Allen gave one simple daily practice that, if done consistently, makes the mirror principle automatic and effortless: thought monitoring and conscious thought selection. Spending just 10 minutes morning and night, watching your thoughts like a guardian and choosing which ones to keep and which ones to reject. Most people let 60,000 thoughts a day run on autopilot and then wonder why their life looks chaotic. But the people who master the mirror spend 20 minutes daily becoming deliberate thinkers, and that small practice changes everything. What if 20 minutes a day of conscious thought work could give you more control over your reality than 20 years of hard work without awareness? James Allen wrote that you will become as small as your controlling desire, or as great as your dominant aspiration, meaning whatever thought you give the most attention and energy to, that becomes your reality. Research on mindfulness and metacognition shows that people who practice daily thought observation develop significantly more emotional regulation, better decision-making, and achieve goals 3x faster than those who don't. Study from Harvard shows that our minds wander 47% of the time, and during mind wandering we default to negative thinking, but 10 minutes of intentional thought direction rewires that default to positive. Step 1. Sit quietly and ask, what do I want my mirror to reflect today? Get clear on desired reality. Step 2. Generate the thoughts that would create that reflection. I am successful. Money flows easily. I am loved. My body is healthy. Opportunities appear. Step 3. Feel the emotions of those thoughts being true. Sit in gratitude, joy, peace, confidence. Step 4. Set intention. Today, I will catch and reject any thought that contradicts this vision. Situr. Step 5. Anytime you catch a negative, limiting, fearful thought, stop it immediately and consciously replace it. Become the bouncer of your mind. Step 6. Notice what your current circumstances are tempting you to think and choose thoughts that create what you want instead of perpetuating what you have. Step 7. Review your day. What did I think about most today? Honest assessment. Step 8. Celebrate wins. I caught 15 negative thoughts and replaced them. I'm getting better at guarding my mirror. Step 9. Forgive slip-ups. I let some toxic thoughts run wild. Tomorrow, I'll be more vigilant. Step 10. Set tomorrow's intention. Tomorrow my mirror will reflect even more of my desired reality, because I'm committed to thinking it into existence. Within 30 days, this practice becomes automatic. You become a conscious creator instead of unconscious reactor. Your mirror starts showing you a reality that matches your highest vision instead of your lowest fears. And life transforms not because circumstances changed, but because you changed what's standing in front of the mirror. This is the secret James Allen gave us 122 years ago that still works today. Your world is a mirror. It shows you exactly what you think. And the moment you master your thoughts, you master your reality. No exceptions, no excuses, just law. Your outer world is a perfect reflection of your inner world. Change your thoughts, and your reality must change to match. It's not magic, it's mechanics. Subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so you keep getting the truth about manifestation that actually works. Comment below which of these mirror principles you're applying today. I read and respond to every comment. Your reflection is about to change.